let's connect some dots on long COVID and your brain, specifically brain fog, POTS, and psychiatric symptoms. So we all have a microbiome. Specifically, we have more non-human cells than human cells. In fact, some people think we're basically just an animated meat envelope serving as a germ dating app. And those germs direct a lot more of our thoughts, feelings, and actions than we'd sometimes like to admit. They tell us what to eat, how to think, and with whom we should mate so that they can survive and reproduce themselves. Hey, nice microbiome. Care for a walnut? Humanococci really like walnuts and are associated with reproductive health. Now, POTS in particular looks a hell of a lot like a vitamin B1 deficiency often seen in the developing world, and increasingly in the US because Rome is burning, called beriberi, but if you supplement B1 they don't always get better. This is because of fungal mycelium stealing all the vitamin B1 from your normal bacteria like the mafia running a toll road. And no surprise, fungus are heavily implicated in the development of neurological disease. Now everybody knows fungus loves sugar, and guess what? We see a lot of POTS in people who have excess sugar in their bloodstream. Now a dysautonomial like POTS will almost always involve the vagus nerve. This is your literal gut-brain axis. And vagus nerve function is also closely associated with the state of your microbiome. So guess where SARS-CoV-2 lives? Biofilm reservoirs in your GI tract, and it can stay there for months or years. The presence of this virus disrupts your gut-brain axis, and as we'll see in a second, can ruin your psychological and neurological well-being. Here we see SARS-CoV-2 directly infects the brain. It can also result in a loss of gray matter. So if you feel yourself getting foggy, COVID might actually be making you go stupid. Also strokes, so, not good for your psyche. These strokes are caused by ischemic damage, that's like a blood clot in your brain. Psychiatric disorders and POTS are also closely associated with a history of a brain injury. You see where I'm going with this? These things are all very closely tied together. This is the thesis of all my content. Pathological amounts of phlegm and biofilm, disrupted water metabolism by fungus, chronic viruses like SARS-CoV-2, and reactivating viruses that almost everybody has in reserve like Epstein-Barr, which is also heavily implicated in long COVID. Long COVID can manifest in many different ways. The confusing thing about this for medicine is that most of these ways that long COVID manifests have multiple causes. So if your primary care provider seems very confused by your condition, this is why. It's also why we call it a damp disease. Phlegm is the uniting factor for all of this, and a lot of long COVID patients basically feel like they're stuck in the upside down.